Hey, I recently went to see Robert Lugo at One West, and it was an amazing experience for me. When I walked into the gallery, I saw one of the first things I saw was the Expulsion of Colin Kaepernick and Don Brown, which is a vase that really touched me. Um, I mean, maybe not touched me. I wouldn't say it really. I was of the moment. That's what I want to say. It's a piece where, a modern collector would just buy and have in their house to just show off to their friends on how avant-garde they are. It's, I don't, with the backside had John Brown on it, but you won't see from the picture I took. Um, and I feel like that gave it some permanence, but I don't think Colin Kaepernick, it it can be something. I'm sure someone drew something from this deeper than what I drew from it, but I liked it. I did like this piece, and I was excited to see Robert Lugo for those kind of things, and I wasn't expecting something deeper. Um, but so I enjoyed seeing all these like black, historical, uplifting figures, and white. John Brown's white. But I liked seeing it. It was, and in the format with the, taking a classical vase and making it something that an African American collector could appreciate. I liked that. Um, but what was more powerful was when, as I entered the space, I got to go to see this work, which to me was a reclamation of a formerly enslaved space. It was more it was it was more powerful than the other works for me. Um, because what I loved about it was that it took um this it was inspired by this slave named Sibby Grant, who worked in the house, the One West house, and the only piece that Robert Lugo could have been inspired by her was a letter that she wrote to her slave owner. And I'm going to take a minute to read you. It says, I take this opportunity to write you a few lines to inquire about your health. I hope you are in good health. I miss you very much indeed. I hope the time will soon come when you will be restored to your family again, for I will ever hold you as a friend of mine. Whenever I cook a good dinner, I wish you was here to enjoy it. Yesterday we had a fine pair of canvas back ducks made a present to Miss Anne. This they was cooked splendid, and I wish she was here to enjoy them. The those sorry, it's really small on my screen. There's terrapins. I've done them in style for you. Know that no one can do them like I can. I never get on my knees, but what I ask to God to remember you. That God that delivered the children of Israel will deliver you if you put your trust in him. Good night. May God bless you. Miss Anna is well, and her ma is better. Miss Nanny and Miss Mary came down tonight to let me see them after they were dressed to go to the party. They look very sweet. Miss Anna wearing pearls. You ought to behold her face no more at present. I remain your humble servant. So, um, I read this letter, and at the moment, I went to the gallery with my mother, and I felt um, ashamed of this letter, and my mother was even more shocked and disgusted by this letter. Um, And I said to my mother that, you do what you can in the moment to make best of your situation. And I feel like that's what that letter was. Um, you can't in her feeling, she wasn't able to feel to resist. And I'm thankful that in my family, um, our slave history is one of a resistance. But for others, that's not their history. And he was able to take this letter and see, to me, the one moment of pride that she took in herself in this letter, which was the sentence, um, those terrapins, I done them in style for you. Know that no one can do them like I can. Throughout this whole letter, she was just raving about other people, the slave owners, and raving about everything, about everyone else. But that one sentence in there, she raved about herself. She took pride in herself. And so when he reclaimed the dining room, um, with images of her, of women that inspired, or that drew him to think of her, um, I I thought that was so powerful. Um, and then he also had some dining room plates that he put around, and it it was exactly, it changed my mind on everything, because a part of me felt like I like modern art because it erases the past. It erases the the negativity that the past has. But he reclaimed that. He reclaimed this space. Like, I would have been, if I saw this house and knew the history of this house, I would be ashamed to call this house my own. Um, and if I knew that history, I wouldn't want to purchase this house. And but this art reclaims this house, and it reclaims it, and it shows that you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can't say that, you can't erase the goodness of this woman, Sibby Grant. Um, you can't erase that she was a good woman, and you can reclaim the space for her, reclaim the space for what she means to the world, that she needs to be highlighted. Um, and you don't need to spend an inordinate amount of time on these other people who participated in barbaric acts, but you can reclaim the space for the people that they punished, that they suffered, and you can reclaim the pride and bring up that pride, and that's what those pieces meant to me. And it certainly touched me, um, and made me think about, you know, my personal journey into art collecting differently. Um, because for some people, art collecting is sort of this selfish act. They want something because it looks good, and then something they can talk about. But like, me, what I want art collecting to me to be is a growth and an extension of myself in my house. Pieces that make it feel like a home, and pieces that I will be able to give to my future children, and that they can share and bring down, and it's something that they'll be proud of, and an identity that can reaffirm who they are and what our family represents. Um, and so pieces like this is something I definitely would like, um, as I decide what my first art collecting purchase is. I think this is something that I that I will consider, in this style. So thank you for joining me on this journey as I decide what will be my first piece of art to buy. Bye.